Aloha and welcome back. This is Natasha. So I'm going to continue on with my Christmas card series for 2018. I'm going to be using this Simon Says Stamp Card Kit Holiday Cheer on this card here. Okay, and so this card kit comes with 2 pieces of watercolor cardstock that has been printed on with a couple of Christmas themed prints. And then you also get a sample of Daniel Smith watercolor inks, and so you get a sampling of 4 inks, a red, a green, a blue, and a yellow. And I am also using a craft mat, which is that brown mat behind. That is so I don't stain my mat on the underneath my craft mat. I can also on this mat, it's a slick surface, and so you can use ink and put ink directly onto that craft mat, and you can just wipe it away real easy with water and a rag. Okay, and I do want to apologize. I'm still really trying to battle this cold, and my voice is a little off today in this video, but I really wanted to get this video out, and so I can continue on with my Christmas card series. So please bear with me on this. All right, so using the red ink from the Daniel Smith watercolor, I'm painting this center ornament here, red color. And so this aqua brush pen is, and I don't remember if I said it, and please excuse me, I have a foggy brain right now, but the aqua brush pen is a water brush, or yeah, a brush pen that is filled with water in the barrel. And so you squeeze the barrel to release water. It's really good. You can control how much water comes out the brush just by the amount of pressure that you press on the barrel when you're painting. And it's really good. You don't have to have, I love my aqua brush pens because you don't have to have that extra step of having a container of water to to clean off your brush pen. Okay, so here I'm going to just explain a little bit about what I'm doing, how I'm watercoloring this. I'm not a professional at watercoloring by any means, but I continue to practice. I love doing it. It really relaxes me when I need to just kind of get in my own moment and woosah for a little while. So what I'm doing is taking the pigment, the watercolor ink, and I'm more so applying the color to the edges of the what is this thing called? I'm putting it towards the edges of this stamped or this image, and then pulling it with clean water to the center. And this part here where I'm doing, I just put ink at the top under where the ornament's hanging. I put ink there and then pulled it with my clean brush just to get the shadowing from under the ornament piece, the hanging piece up there that you hang the ornament with. I don't know what it's called. But then to continue on down this way, you'll see me coming in from the sides with the more pigmented ink, and then pulling in with a more clean brush to the center where it kind of fades out, gives it a really nice highlight. And so I do have a towel. I always keep a rag on my lap, and so you'll see me put my hand down, I'll wipe off the ink, bring my hand back up with clean, my brush tip now is clean. I squeeze a little bit of water from the barrel, and I join those 2 pieces together, which makes it a lighter highlight in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to continue that on down for the remainder of this piece here. Okay. And then for the centers of this ornament, I did want to do a lighter color, so I saved that for last, because you want to really make sure when you're doing watercoloring, if you don't want things to blend or mesh together, you want to make sure that those certain areas are completely dry before you move on to another. So because I wanted these little these three pieces here on this ornament, I wanted those three to be a lighter tone because they have a different pattern on it. So I had to make sure that I colored everything, all the other pieces darker, and then I heat set it with my heat tool, made sure that it was completely dried. And now I'm going in with a lighter color, not so much pigment on my brush, and then just pulling in the colors from the sides like I did and making it a lighter in the middle, a lighter highlight in the middle. So that's how that ornament there came out. Okay, and doing this ornament on the right hand side, I am taking the blue ink. I'm going to be concentrating the blue ink color towards the top of the ornament, and then coming around to basically like a really light wash of this blue color at the bottom. And again, to get this kind of effect, it's really important you put the pigment where you want it to be the darkest, and then you pull it down, squeezing more so on your barrel of your pen so that it starts to water the color out. And you always want to wipe off the excess ink on your, like a rag or a towel. In my case, the rag is on my lap. So I'm just trying to get it a lot darker towards the top, and then I'm going to be pulling down to get that pigment to blend out towards a light color. Okay. And then I'm going to completely dry this ornament here with a heat tool to make sure that it's completely dry before I move on to adding any more color. And so I don't know if you're noticing, but I do color with that yellow watercolor ink. I am coloring the tops of the ornaments with that yellowish goldish color there on the top of the ornaments. So I did that after I dried that blue ornament off. And so moving on to the ornament to the left, I am starting with the green color. And I'm really, like, this green color is very pigmented, and I didn't, you know, it's my first time using this little sampling of Daniel Smith color, so I didn't know how dark the pigment was when I applied it. So it's a really nice, deep, rich green. So I'm just pulling, I added a bunch of it to the top under the, is it called a clasp? I don't know what it's called, but I added it to the top, and then I am just pulling the color down just to make it like a lighter color towards the bottom. Okay, and so there are my three ornaments done up. And so here is a good thing about the craft mat. I took a little bit of the blue and a little bit of the green, and I mixed it right there on my craft mat. And I'm pulling that color with my aqua brush or aqua pen, and I'm just filling in around the letters Mary, filling in those boxes. Okay, and this part, it's really important as well. Like, you're gonna notice, I think I left it in, but you're gonna notice I do the M, I skip the E, and move to the R. And it's just because the M is so saturated, the paper is really saturated. So if I moved on to the E, then the colors would just smash and it'd be like one big messy watercolor look. Some people like that look, and it's totally fine. But I tend to do mines where I can let it dry in the meantime. So I added more blue to that color that I already had on my craft mat, and give this E and this R a little different hue. It's not going to be that big of a difference, but it's going to be enough where you can notice that it's a little different. Okay, so I'm going to do that to this E and that last R there. Okay, and I am going to take a break, and I'm sorry if this is crazy for you, but I'm super excited, and I had to pick my camera up with my hands. So I just got in the Tonic Studios and Tim Holtz glass mat. Guys, I've been wanting this for a while. I've been seeing people use it. and I'm so stoked about this. So I can do a little more in depth about this craft mat, but I'm just going to show you a little bit. So there's this grid mat to the right hand side. Now this is a glass mat. It's made of glass. So it's really easy. There's a little like a little chart on the side or graph where you can put your inks and you wipe it off with just a cloth because it's made out of glass. And I also got the Tim Holtz and Tonic Studio stamping platform, and I'm super excited about this too. So this platform is it has one side, it lifts up here, you put it straight up, and that top acrylic piece comes off. And so one side, there's a grid on it, and one side's made for rubber and the other side's made for clear stamps. Okay, so you would basically, whatever stamp you are going to use, so I'm going to use a clear, so you make sure that clear is, you can read that completely, and that means that it's prepped for a clear stamp. You put your stamp on inside, pick it up, put a paper, before we put the paper, it does come with these really, really heavy duty magnets to hold your paper down. And so here's the thing, these things are really, really strong. And so I always have a hard time picking it up. It like, you have to slide it all the way off, or it's like super hard to pick up. So what I do is I take a little bit of washi tape and I put, I cover the washi tape, leaving a tail. I cover the magnet, leaving a tail of the washi tape, so that when it's down on the surface, the magnetic surface, see how I can't pick this one up? But this one you can easily, you just pull it up by the tail of the washi tape. So that's what I do for my Misty and for this stamping platform. So it's just scrap paper, and I'm using an Avery L ink pad and inking up this Christmas tree. And this is basically what the stamping platform and the Misty are good at, and what we as crafters use it for. Before this came into play, oh, I gotta tell you, I would cross my fingers, like hoping that I would be able to get a great impression the first time, because if you try to stamp it the second time, it always moves, no matter what, no matter how on point you thought you were, it always moves. The great thing about this is because that's clear stamp is stuck on to that platform, that acrylic, it doesn't move. And because you have those magnets holding that paper down, it doesn't move. So if you need to stamp it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, it'll come out perfect every single time. Guys, it's the best investment, I swear to you. Get a stamping platform. Okay, so moving on, I did color the Mary with that goldish yellow color. And then I took that iridescent watercolor that we got in the Hero Arts kit last month or previous month. It's the iridescent watercolor. I just added that bad boy with a little bit of water, added it to all of my ornaments and to the Mary, and it is glistening. It is shining like no other. So I'm just showing you, this is that's what was left of the watercolor ink when I finished doing this painting. So using my corner chomper here, I'm going to round my corners. I do have the Schoolhouse Red cardstock as my card base. I'm rounding those corners as well. And I did want to show you folks. So I do use Fun Foam. I think it's a super great savings on trying to add dimension to your cards. So I save all of my scraps. I mean, I like to reuse. I'm very frugal. So I save all of my scrap pieces. I put it in a pile and I use them on projects. I cut them down, just add glue. And so I just wanted to show you, please, use everything that you have. Don't just throw it away. Let's try to save as much from going in the dump as possible. Not like, we hope these cards went in the dump, but, Okay, so taking a gold pen, I am just adding a little bit of embellishments on that little hanging pieces for the ornaments there. Okay, and then just trying to show you the shine, the shimmer, the glitter, the sparkle. Alrighty. And so that is it for this card, on this video, for this Christmas card series. So here's a couple of still shots of this card. Came out really nice. I really liked it. The shimmer on it is amazing. Yeah, and thanks for staying with me. I'm sorry, excuse me for being sick, but I will catch you on the next video. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Mahalo.